Hello, I'm Professor Jennifer Reed from your SOC 101, or Principles of Sociology, online course for the semester. Welcome to week 4. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit by video about the course now that you're getting underway a little bit, and tell you a little bit about myself. Since I had you do the introduction assignment, I also want to introduce myself as well. So first of all, you're getting into the hang of that every week you will have a quiz over a module due on Sunday by the end of the day. So this being week 4, the first 4 weeks, all of the quizzes are required. So each quiz has 15 questions that are required, and there's 1 extra credit question. You do get 2 attempts at each quiz, and then weeks 5 through 15, the questions will move down to 10 questions. Every quiz has an extra credit question as well. And for weeks 5 through 15, I will drop the lowest 2 quiz scores. So again, weeks 5 through 15, the 2 lowest quiz scores will be dropped. So if you get a low quiz score on a couple of them, don't worry about it. If you miss a couple of them, don't worry about it, okay? Also, that said, if you are late on work, I do take off 5% per day late. So work on getting your work in on time as much as possible. But if it is late, it's better to turn it in late if it's, within, say, 2 weeks of when it's due, than not turn it in at all, so you can at least get partial credit still, okay? But like I said, then after this week, I will drop the 2 lowest quiz scores. So you've got two attempts that, if you don't do so well, or if you miss them, that you don't have to worry about, okay? And then the other part of your assignments for this course is the discussion question portion. So first off, there are no large exams for this course. So the quizzes take the place of having any kind of, large exams, any kind of midterm or final. The quizzes are the only multiple choice questions that you'll get. And then the discussion questions serve as like essay questions, but these are all done during the regular class time, and you don't have any big tests, okay? So for the discussion questions, you found that, you already did question number 1, which was your introduction. Did a really great job on that. And so question number 2 then, or actually let me back up. It's discussion question number 1, because the first one was the introduction discussion. So discussion question number 1 is due this week. Originally I'd had on the schedule for it to be due last week, and I think things were just run together too much. As I did mention, we're in some unprecedented kind of social and political times in our country right now that are causing people a bit of anxiety, and so I understand that just give people a little bit more time on this assignment was good all the way around. So the assignment for discussion question 1, which is over the Stanford Prison Experiment video, Quiet Rage, that is found in Module 2 of Web Campus, is due this week on Thursday. The initial post is due, and then on Sunday, a response post to one of your classmates is due. So that's the kind of format, same format as the introduction question, discussion question, and your other 3 discussion questions will be the same kind of format like that, over various things. One will be a simulation exercise, another will be another film to view, and then one will be actually looking for your own article or some sort of media over a particular topic to present. So those are all your discussion questions that you'll be having. That's really the main thing with this course, is just staying on top of things from week to week. If you stay on top of things from week to week and read the material, do the discussion questions, do the quizzes, you should do fine. The course is, I've been told that the course is relatively easy on one hand, as far as the material's not hard, that it's clear to people what they need to do, but you do need to stay on top of it. So just get into the routine now of making sure to get assignments due, so that you remember that Sunday you always have a quiz due, and then make sure that you have the dates written for the discussion question portions to get those turned in on time as well. Okay, so that's pretty much course business. You've probably found now that on the left side of Web Campus is where all of your areas to click on to get to your learning modules, to get to your quizzes, to get to the discussion questions are all on the left side of your screen in Web Campus once you get into the course online. So that's really the basics. As far as the course, no hidden stuff here. Pretty straightforward about it, and I'm here to help you be successful. Please continue to email me if you have questions. I am here, even though it's an online course. I am available by email. I do take appointments via Skype as well. So anytime that you need help, please know that I am available. So the last thing is I want to introduce myself a little bit. Since I asked you to do an introduction and talk a little bit about your sociological imagination relative to part of your identities, I felt that it's only fair for me to do that in return. So for that, I'm going to put on my sociological lenses and talk to you a little bit about who I am. So as I said, I'm your professor, Jennifer Reed. My background is I was born in a rural Appalachian town in Ohio. So I am U.S. based, but small rural area in Appalachia. Appalachia depends on, it's the same. People say it different ways. So being from that area, there wasn't a lot of diversity growing up, but I always knew the diversity was like out there, and my parents, traveled with us kids around the U.S. a little bit, so that I was exposed to cities and did see diversity, but the town I actually grew up in wasn't very diverse itself. But it's a small, close-knit community, and I'm the oldest of 5 kids. I became a mother at a very young age, which was not unusual for where I grew up. I had my first child when I was 17 years old. I'm the first female in my family, or the first woman in my family to go to college, and I'm actually right now I'm just finishing my PhD right now. I got my master's degree and then waited for my kids to finish school themselves, and then went back to get my PhD, which I'm finishing right now, right in the last stages of it at this time. So I actually have 4 grandchildren now, and as I said, my kids are grown. And I have lived in larger cities since growing up in a small area. I lived in Vegas for several years. Right now I'm back and forth between Vegas while I'm teaching online. And lived in Florida, lived in California. I've traveled around the entire United States, and but I've mainly then traveled just like Mexico, Canada, Caribbean. My next step once I finish my PhD is to start doing international travel a little bit and see things more, more get an even more worldly perspective. The political and social polarization that I'm seeing, and that we're all seeing in the United States right now, is of great concern. I can see both sides of what's happening, being from a small town and then also living in urban spaces. I definitely have my own personal, beliefs about things, as everybody does. But I think that a big issue that we're seeing is that people aren't talking to each other so much as just kind of demonizing each other on either side. And I hope through learning more about the sociological imagination and being able to see things from a different perspective, that that it might be a way that we can help get beyond some of this extreme polarization on both sides, and where people can actually start having a conversation with each other again, instead of just pointing at each other and saying, well, you're a racist, well, you don't care about national security. And you know what, that one-sidedness is harmful to everybody. Most people don't fall into those extreme categories of those things. I'm not saying that there aren't people that don't fall into those categories, but to paint with a broad brush that everybody that has certain beliefs is extreme on one side or the other just fuels us not getting along and not coming up with solutions for some of the really major problems we're facing right now. So anyway, so I'm advocating for learning more about sociology and the sociological perspective to hopefully be a way to build bridges, so that we can get past some of the extreme differences that are an extreme concern in our society right now. So with that, I'm going to close, and please contact me if you need any help with anything. Thank you so much. Have a great